Have you ever pondered why your erections don't feel quite as solid as they once did? Plenty of guys assume it's simply due to testosterone levels or circulation issues, but let me reveal the secret reality. The power of your pelvic floor muscles has a huge impact. These muscles are what trap blood within the penis and sustain your hardness. And similar to any other muscle group, if they're not exercised, they lose strength over time. That's precisely why Kegel exercises make such a difference. Most folks believe Kegels are just for females, but in my practice, I've witnessed men in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s completely revamp their sexual function by simply fortifying these concealed muscles. Right now, I'll demonstrate the top 5 Kegel techniques you can perform right at home, no gear required, to promote stronger erections, enhanced command, and even superior bladder function. Stick around through the conclusion, since that last technique is the one guys tend to overlook, yet it's the true powerhouse for enduring solidity. Position yourself comfortably lying on your back, knees flexed to around a 45-degree angle, feet planted flat on the ground at hip-width distance for the best support. Rest your arms softly alongside your body, palms turned downward, ensuring your form feels totally bolstered and at ease. Pause briefly to ease into this setup, letting your breath flow naturally and evenly. Starting from here, direct your focus to the area of your lower back. Softly engage your abs. Envision drawing your navel back toward your spine and flatten your lower spine against the floor as though smoothing away any gap or curve beneath it. Simultaneously, angle your pelvis a bit upward, sufficient to sense the muscle activation without any force or unease. You ought to notice a gentle yet clear tightening in your lower abdominals and the deeper pelvic area. Maintain this for an initial 3 to 5 seconds. Breathe evenly via your nose, then ease back to the initial posture with deliberate control. What seems straightforward on the surface is actually profoundly effective for your intimate wellness. You're engaging not just the pelvic floor muscles, but linking them to your lower abs too, forming what's known among pros as co-contraction. These exact muscles pulse rhythmically and seal blood within the penis throughout an erection, functioning like a natural bitch band. Through regular daily practice of this technique, you're conditioning those muscles to operate in unison when summoned, developing both power and synergy. A vital advantage of the pelvic tilt is heightened body sense, termed proprioception by physical therapists. Countless men are unaware of how to deliberately manage their pelvic floor until they begin with this basic exercise. It's akin to uncovering a muscle that was previously unknown to you. Gradually, you'll sense precisely which muscles are activating, their precise location, and ways to activate them more efficiently right when required. This boosted perception can lead to harder, more dependable erections, greater mastery in bed to postpone climax, and even marked gains in bladder power that lessen urgency and trips to the bathroom. Begin with 10 to 15 reps, sustaining each tilt for those vital seconds. Prioritize precision above numbers. Performing 10 flawless ones beats 20 hasty efforts every time. As your muscles build over the next few weeks, steadily advance to 20 or perhaps 25 reps with steady effort. And here's the essential part. You'll observe your body reacting in fresh ways. It seems like you're securing that solidity instead of watching it fade. Certain men liken it to regaining command of a bodily aspect they believed was gone for good due to getting older. Moving on, here's the prone stretch. For this, stretch out face down on the floor atop a soft mat or rug, legs stretched straight out, elbows aligned right beneath your shoulders, as if easing into a mild cobra or settling to peruse a book prone. Keep your forearms pressed flat against the floor, aligned parallel. Raise your chest just a touch from the surface, holding your neck in a neutral line and eyes aimed ahead or a tad down to spare any neck discomfort. At this point, activate your abs by softly drawing your navel toward your spine. Picture making room between your abdomen and the ground, and simultaneously give a light squeeze to your pelvic floor. Envision subtly elevating those inner muscles like halting urine in midstream. This technique might appear undemanding to someone watching, but its internal effects are distinctive and potent. It elongates and opens the front abdominal muscles, including those hip flexors that tighten up from desk time, all while compelling the profound stabilizers, the pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, and lower abs to tighten in seamless unity. That mix of extension and engagement is what renders this exercise exceptionally potent. It goes beyond mere power building. It fosters suppleness, stamina, and muscle interplay, all key for peak sexual capability and erection upkeep. Numerous men incorporating the prone stretch into their everyday habits mention a clear drop in ongoing lower back tightness, much better daily posture, and above all, a deeper, more intentional link to their pelvic floor amid closeness. That stronger link ensures that in key moments, the messages from your brain to your muscles and erection are sharper, quicker, and more robust. It's comparable to switching your nervous system from old-school dial-up to high-speed fiber. Sustain this extension for an initial 20 to 30 seconds, emphasizing even belly breathing and intentional yet soft muscle work. Avoid breath holding. Oxygen circulation is vital for muscle performance. Do it 3 to 4 rounds with 10 to 15-second pauses in between. As weeks of reliable sessions pass, extend the duration to 45 seconds or a complete minute. You'll discover your pelvic zone sensing both more relaxed and more robust at once. Precisely the blend required for sustained hardness, enhanced circulation, and top-tier mastery. The third technique is the kneeling ab draw-in. Start by assuming all fours in the tabletop pose from yoga, hands stacked under shoulders with fingers fanned for balance, knees set under hips. Maintain a fully neutral spine, no cat-like arch or hammock sag, just even and natural. This stance by itself aids in aligning your whole frame and eases excess pressure from the lower back, priming your core for engagement. Now, exhale slowly and purposefully via your mouth. While doing so, softly draw your navel into your spine, leveling your midsection without breath holding or shoulder tightness. Concurrently, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. For an instant, picture halting urine flow halfway or imagine subtly raising your testicles or easing the inner pelvic muscles upward. Sustain this unified squeeze for 3 to 5 seconds, shoulders loose, neck even, breath even and managed. Then release gradually with poise. This action might seem small externally, but the internal shifts are deep. You're firing up the profound core group, especially the transverse abdominis that encircles your torso like an innate girdle or lift belt, all while schooling the pelvic floor to synchronize. In tandem, they foster spine steadiness, boost pelvic blood movement, and fortify the brain-to-sexual function nerve pathway. This exercise stands out for how it ties deliberate breath to exact muscle command. Mastering contraction on exhale and ease on inhale hones both stamina and teamwork, which carry over straight to greater endurance and deliberate mastery in intimate settings. Guys doing this routinely often speak of unveiling a fresh tier of pelvic muscle insight they didn't think achievable. Rather than disconnection or lack of grip, they detect and direct those squeezes with ease, aiding longer firmness and chosen delay of peak, boosting their own enjoyment and their partner's delight. Launch with 10 to 15 reps, always deliberate and focused. Precision trumps volume by a mile. As time goes on, extend holds to 5, 7, or up to 10 seconds with rising stamina. Experiment with shifts like leaning weight slightly front or back to target varied fibers. The fourth is the bridge abduction. Stretch out supine on a soft base, knees at about 90 degrees, feet at hip distance, solidly grounded roughly a foot from your rear. Set arms beside you, palms down for backing and steadiness. Pause to locate your neutral spine. Now drive heels into the ground. Fire up glutes and raise hips skyward, crafting a straight path from shoulders via hips to knees. That's your bridge. Steady it with solid form. Now ease knees outward as though parting the floor with your legs or pulling a band taut. Return them controlled to center. Keep motions fluid and intentional, free of jerks or haste. This technique's strength lies in coordinating several key groups at once. You're fortifying pelvic floor to capture and hold penile blood in erections, while intensely rousing the glutes, your body's biggest, most energy-hungry muscles. Plus, you're hitting those overlooked hip abductors and balancers, vital for pelvic evenness, firmness, and prime flow. Weak or idle ones often hinder pelvic blood seriously, but robust and alert, they serve as backup pumps, pushing oxygen-rich blood exactly where it counts for potent erections. The bridge abduction also retrains holding solidity amid motion and load. Elevating hips during knee in-outs mimics the control and lasting power for closeness. This practical power boosts real-world results directly. Begin with 8 to 10 reps, each outpush held 2 to 3 seconds before centering. Keep core active to avoid back bow. With weekly gains, Ramp to 15 to 20 reps or loop a band above knees for added resistance and firing. Men persisting with this steadily often note not only harder erections but better pelvic steadiness and hip range, cutting tiredness, easing back stress, and heightening command in extended intimacy. It's genuinely among the top for crafting a solid, steady base that bolsters sexual prowess and bodily assurance. At last, the most neglected yet profoundly effective technique, the rocking frog stretch. Ease onto hands and knees, all fours on a cushioned spot or mat for ease. Then gradually part your knees wider. Extend to a comfortable breath sans force, feet angled out so inner thighs spread fully and hips drop nearer the ground. Knees craft a broad V. Now, lower softly to forearms, spine neutral, head at rest. This may already deliver a deep pull in inner thighs, groin, and hips. That's the goal. Breathe and settle into it. When steady and settled, initiate a gentle forward-back hip rock in slow, managed, wave-like rhythm through the pelvis. This technique offers something truly special among male pelvic workouts. It profoundly opens the adductors or inner thighs, while loosening and easing the deep pelvic floor that tightens chronically from years, desk hours, tension, or missing stretch work. Tight, bound tissues mimic a clamp, curbing flow and spiking pelvic strain, rendering firm erections far tougher to achieve and hold. By softly parting and calming these while dynamically involving the pelvic floor, you permit freer blood entry to erectile areas, and vitally, retention when essential. The rocking element is key and non-negotiable. Beyond static opening, it generates smooth pelvic motion, vastly aiding circulation, lymph clearance, and muscle on-off in ideal sync. That strength-relax equilibrium is essential for intimacy. Excess constant pelvic tightness curbs flow and sparks early release, while insufficient power can't secure blood for solid stands. This helps pinpoint and sustain that ideal balanced tone. Dedicate 30 to 40 seconds at first, swaying with breath rhythm and deep belly inhales. Emphasize yielding to the open rather than pushing. Do 3 rounds with 20 to 30-second intervals. If tough initially, skip force or ache. Narrow knees less or prop a cushion under chest. Regular sessions will skyrocket your range, making it feel innate and even enjoyable in mere weeks. Plenty of men spot a stark shift in hardness, feel, endurance, and orgasm force. Some say this alone seems to free or rouse the pelvis, granting a mightier, keener erection unseen for years or longer. View the rocking frog as dual, builder and unbinder, yin-yang in action. It forges command while easing held stress, revives sound flow while schooling fluid, innate motion, and in the end, backs top function and enduring ease. Teamed with the prior 4, it seals the routine, the element lifting outcomes from solid to exceptional. So that's the lineup. The premier 5 Kegel techniques for reviving firmer, steadier erections post-50. No fast schemes, fleeting patches, or hype that falls short. These are hands-on, science-backed routines that methodically recondition your frame to retain flow, heighten penile feel, and grant deliberate sway over intimate reactions. Success hinges on steady effort and forbearance. Merely 5 to 10 minutes daily, shorter than toothbrushing, yields visible gains in weeks, bolder shifts after 2 to 3 months of routine. And keep in mind, they aid beyond erections. Markedly better bladder mastery, fewer night wakes, eased pelvic strain and ache, and bolstered assurance in frame and manhood. For peak outcomes, do daily, best at fixed times to habituate. Many thrive starting mornings or pre-sleep. Log advances in a notebook, marking gains in solidity, command, and full intimate joy. Remain dedicated. Apply these daily unfailingly, and you might truly marvel at the added strength, hardness, and youthfulness. This is Dr. Sophia Carter, sending wishes for wellness, vigor, and poise across life's phases. It's never too soon or late to fortify these vital muscles and recapture intimate vitality. If useful, pass it to a pal who might gain from this insight, and be sure to subscribe for further proven men's wellness tips.